This is All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné.
The place where we share and talk about the people, places, and passions
that have impacted us on the road of life. Hi, I'm Al.
Hi, I'm Jayné.
And welcome to All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné. This is episode number 2, All Roads Lead to LA. Thanks so much for joining us. And right off the top, we want to say thank you to everyone for your just kind words and all of your support for episode 1, All Roads Lead to Delaware.
Yes, we just had an outpouring of support and positive feedback. I heard from a high school classmate that I hadn't connected with in a while who was just, supportive. It was just it was great to feel the love. So thanks so much.
So how are you doing today?
I am great. I am so ready for this episode. I've been looking forward to it. Talking about LA, I'm ready. Got my gear.
Yes.
I'm ready to do this.
For those of you who can't see us right now, Jayné is wearing purple.
Hey.
And I'm wearing blue, and that is because all roads lead to LA right now. LA has once again become title town because of the championships, the sports championships that have just taken place in LA. We're recording this episode in the fall of 2020. And recently, the Lakers have won the NBA championship.
Yes.
Congrats to the Lakers. And the Dodgers have won the World Series. And so there are titles that are back in LA. It hasn't happened for a while.
It's been a minute.
For both teams, but...
for the Dodgers, for sure. Yeah.
For the Dodgers, for the Dodgers, for sure. Since 1988.
That's Lasorda days, yeah.
Since 1988. Wow. Yeah. That's a long... time ago. So the Dodgers are world champs once again, and hats off to Dave Roberts, the manager of the LA Dodgers, for the great job that he's done. One of the co-owners of the Dodgers, also Irvin Magic Johnson as well.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk about this later. Now, you realize that Magic has won an NBA championship as a player and as an owner. He's also won a championship as an owner of the LA Sparks. I believe he has also, if I'm not mistaken, he's won a college championship as well. With Michigan State. So congrats and hats off to Irvin Magic Johnson.
All right. I mean, yeah, Magic is the man. It's interesting when I look at this, shifting with the Lakers. As our family, I grew up with my grandfather watching the Dodgers. He was in his chair. I would sit at his feet watching the Dodgers play in the summer. No AC in the house, and the Valley in San Bernardino, nice and hot. But that's really the early foundation of sports. And the Lakers were just must-see TV always. And I think, though, at the time when we were watching, it was Lou Alcindor, was, often how he was referred to Kareem, and Magic was like coming in and, kind of coming in on Kareem's team. And so we look at it later on when it's Magic's team, and then later with Kobe and Shaq. And so it's been an interesting, road that I've watched with the different, Laker teams. But there is something about Showtime. That Showtime Lakers with Magic was amazing time, and he's one of my absolute favorites.
When I think about LA, when I think about the sports teams, when I think about our life and life in general, kind of the saying comes to my mind: it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Okay.
Because if you and a lot of other people out there do know that the Lakers did not start in LA.
Yeah, you were the first.
They started in Minnesota. They were actually the Minneapolis Lakers, kind of for Minnesota, the land of the 10,000 lakes.
Wow.
And we know that the Dodgers did not begin in LA. They began in Brooklyn.
Right.
And were brought to LA by the O'Malley family. So it's not about where you start, it's where you finish, and all roads led to LA. So one of the things that Jayné and I have kind of talked about, and we've kind of gone back and forth and mashed this up over the years, and even from our earliest days, so from our earliest conversations, one of the things, you're talking to somebody, trying to get to know them, find out information about them, who who do you like? What's your preference for this or that or the other? And one of the things I asked, I said, well, who's your team? Who's your team?
And I said, I have players, not teams.
And that's where it got interesting. I said, you follow players and not team. I said, you got to have a team.
And you challenged me on this, but case in point, I think one of the great examples is my football player was Ronnie Lott. That was my guy. He was born, I think, in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, but he went to high school, Eisenhower High in Rialto. He played against my cousin and the arch rival in the San G team, and so, by all accounts, all that mattered. My cousin Mark, taught him a thing or two.
All right, hats off to cousin Mark.
Yes, and so we, followed him. We forgave him for becoming a Trojan and not a Bruin. But then he went to the 49ers. So I started to watch that team. But I watched because of Ronnie Lott. And so, he's a Hall of Famer, amazing. And then joined up with Roger Craig, who became one of my favorite backs. The first to ever have 1,000 receiving and reception yards.
Okay.
I always loved John Taylor. I feel like he got overshadowed by Jerry Rice, but you throw it anywhere in his direction and it was 6.
Delaware State University grad,
yes,
by the way. All
John
roads lead to
Taylor.
Delaware.
That's right, HBCU. Love him. And then Joe Montana. I feel like, in these later conversations or the conversation we're having now about Brady and the 6 rings, but Joe Montana's 4 rings with that squad could have taken to me Brady's, Patriot team any day. I feel like Joe Montana was just clutch, always consistent. You want him with the ball when the game is on the line, and at the helm was classy, cool Bill Walsh.
Yep.
So that was that was my team because of Ronnie Lott.
So because of Ronnie Lott.
That's right.
We owe it all to Ronnie.
That's it. So this.
Okay, so let's talk about this. If you were to give a rundown, just baseball, football, basketball, who would be your team?
Okay. Baseball was never a love of mine. My grandfather, I think, and like you said, I think because of the integration of baseball through Jackie Robinson, I think a lot of people follow the Dodgers.
So many.
From Brooklyn, to LA. So I grew up watching them. I kind of appreciated them, I think, for that. I really think, so I would say they were my baseball team, but I felt like I really enjoyed watching baseball the most when Ricky Henderson was playing for the A's. I just love the steals. And I love track and the running aspect of that. So that was really great for me. We could talk about that more. But okay, so I would say the Dodgers. Basketball, definitely Lakers, Sparks. Football would be the Niners.
Football would be the Niners. Okay. I'll start with basketball. Basketball for me, I'm a Dr. J, Charles Barkley era Sixers fan. My grandmother, my mother's mother, brought me a Radio Shack radio, and it was in the form of a dog. And for Christmas one year, and I would put that on my bed and pretend like I was sleeping, but I was actually listening to Sixers games at night. And so
That's neat.
I remember also my cousin Dwayne, had a picture of the '83 Sixers team, which I think is one of the best teams ever. Dr. J, Moses Malone, Andrew Toney, Bobby Jones. Those guys were just out of this world. Still one of the best teams ever. Dwayne had a picture of that team right by his door in his room. So I love that era of Sixers and on through when Barkley came in. Baseball, I am a New York Mets guy.
Okay.
New York Mets.
From Philly to New York.
Well, yeah. I love the Mets. Here's why. In '86, before the World Series, and we'll get to that in a second, the Mets played the Houston Astros for the National League Championship. And there was one game that went just extra innings. And Darryl Strawberry hit this home run that I believe clinched the game for them. And there was this pitcher for Houston, Mike Scott. He had a fastball that was just amazing. And the Mets were just going back and forth with them. But eventually the Mets ended up winning. Also during that year, talking about all roads lead to L.A., the Boston Red Sox were playing the California Angels, based out of Anaheim, L.A. market team, for the American League Championship. And they were going back and forth in that. So it ends up being the Mets and the Red Sox that meet in the World Series in '86. So many people know the story, but for those of you who don't, the Boston Red Sox are up. They're about to win the fourth game to go ahead and win the World Series. All of a sudden, Mookie Wilson is at the plate. He hits a simple ground ball towards the first base side. And Bill Buckner is there, and the ball goes right through his legs. Ooh. The Mets end up coming back to win that game and end up winning the next game to win the World Series. And so I'm a Mets guy because of that, really. Okay. And so in '88, the Mets and the Dodgers actually met in the National League Championship Series. They played in the playoffs then. So I'm a Mets guy. All right, here we go. NFL football.
NFL.
When it comes to NFL football, come on, sit back and get ready because this is about to be a ride. When it comes to NFL football, I am a Washington NFL football fan. I have been since 1982. All right? Since 1982. When Joe Gibbs was the coach.
Glory days.
When Joe Theismann was the quarterback. When Art Monk was the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Go
Shall
ahead.
I go on? Shall I go on? I mean, when John Riggins was the running back. Yeah. I mean, when the Hogs were the Hogs. I mean, when RFK was the place to be. I mean, y'all. I mean, especially to live in that area as we did during that time. I mean, it was everything. And the truth of the matter is, you were either a Washington fan or you were a Dallas fan. So many people in the area, they were Dallas fans, but we're not talking about them right now. Our family actually knew people who worked for the police department in Washington, D.C., and they said that crime would go down whenever NFL football, whenever the home team was playing on TV. They said that crime would go down in Washington, D.C., so this team was not only doing so much good on the football field, they were doing a service to the community as well. So
no shout out to Doug Williams.
Doug Williams. Oh, come on, Doug Williams. I remember the Super Bowl when Doug Williams went down and twisted his ankle or twisted his knee. Man, I went into prayer. I mean, right then and there. They're playing the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl, and they had already gone up and made a quick strike. And Denver was already up, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go again." And then Doug Williams goes down. Man, I went into prayer.
That's what got him through.
Well, hey, that and I'm sure they shot him up with a couple of things. So prayer and medicine does work. So Doug. Oh man, love Doug.
Trailblazer.
Love Doug. And that was the '87 championship. In 1991, I'm in high school then, and we're playing the Buffalo Bills for the Super Bowl, which actually took place, kind of 6 degrees of separation. That Super Bowl actually took place in Minneapolis, and we talk about how the Lakers came from Minneapolis to LA. That Super Bowl was in Minnesota that year. My parents let me have a Super Bowl party. A couple of my friends who I will not name, but I'm sure they are listening in some way, form, or fashion right now. They came over the house and they brought, and I could not believe this. I just to think of it even now, I cannot believe this. They brought a Buffalo Bills cake.
Bruce Smith fans.
To our house. Knowing what kind of fan I am.
Right. Disrespect.
I instantly got a knife and started cutting that thing up, but that thing did not survive. I mean, sometimes usually your parents are like, no. They really didn't. They really didn't stop me for that. So that's what kind of fan I am. But you gotta have a team.
I mean, I think you've challenged me on that, and I get it that when you endure the losses, it makes the wins sweeter, and having a team is crucial. We have adopted the Washington team is our family team. We've adopted them. Yeah. They've been a little hard to love, but we've adopted them. I completely agree. I think for me, on some level, our home base shifted. I mean, I was born in California, but we moved east, and we can kind of talk about that story.
Okay.
And so my dad was, coming from Western PA. He was diehard, all things Pittsburgh, Penguins, Pirates, Steelers. And so there was definitely the Steeler influence in the home, and Pittsburgh teams. He's big with ice hockey. I think
Wow.
I think I actually didn't really appreciate it at the time, but ended up playing field hockey, and probably was some of the influence from his ice hockey watching and discussion. But I guess the true backstory is when we were in high school, every team got to wear their away jersey. And you could wear it during the day, but I was running track, and so we really didn't have a jersey. So by senior year, I was like, I want to wear a jersey.
Okay.
And so I wanted to wear a cute skirt, and
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be a cheerleader or on the pep squad. The field hockey team had skirts, so I was like, hey, that's my sport.
Okay.
But I really grew to love it, and would have loved to have played earlier on. But yeah, so I agree. I think my home base shifted, but the people were what kind of kept me grounded. So I think in a lot of ways I have responded to players and not teams. I guess I haven't had that team loyalty of being in one location or having a family team. So I think I did gravitate more to the players.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the players, and really when we talk about players, it's about the people. And when we think about people, especially LA, there is really a great story, a backstory that's kind of there of migration
Absolutely.
that took place there, and it really is embodied in our family story that we've now merged together, but especially with the part of the family story that comes from your side of the family in getting that California.
Yeah, absolutely. My grandparents, our maternal grandparents, hail from Oklahoma and Texas, by way of really Alabama and Georgia. My grandfather grew up in Texas. My grandmother grew up in Oklahoma. And they brought their budding, growing family from Oklahoma to California. I mean, that's like, over 1,500 miles for a better way of life. And they wanted to raise their children, in a place where they had more opportunities than they had growing up. And I really feel that that's in the DNA of California. So many times I think we talk about, the southern to northern migration, or, people moving from rural areas to industrial areas. But when you really look, there is such a story of migration that goes from Midwest South to West. And I think sometimes we focus on like the Steinbeck Grapes of Wrath, that story. But there's a story of Black folks, people like my family, who traveled. They left everything that they knew, everything that was familiar, their home base, their family support, and took a leap and really took a risk. And it was really a courageous move, and a forward thinking, a progressive move to try and start in a place where they felt they had more opportunity. And I think that's in the DNA of LA, of California, because when you really think of it, there was no Plymouth, there was no Mayflower that landed in the Pacific. There was no ships that survived the Middle Passage that came to the Pacific. People who came to California, they came by choice.
Yeah.
You have the unfortunate with natives whose land was invaded and seized. You have internment. You have forced and exploitive labor. But the majority of folks who came by choice. And we often talk about, immigration from the southern border. And there's a lot of similarities to those stories and the stories of those who migrated from the South and from the West, and the hardships and, the risks that they took. And so there's a courage, there's a grit, there's a grind in the California soil. And, often people say it's, I've heard it all of being laid back and carefree. And but I see it to be something more. And I think there's something liberating when you step out and you're living in your purpose, or you're living in a desire or a dream, and you're kind of elevating to move beyond. And I think that is really something that you still sense, people who are chasing dreams. And that often, you put the work in the dark when people don't see. You're grinding, you're sacrificing, but there is a temerity and a strength. And I saw that in my uncles and my aunts. I saw it in my grandfather. I see it in my mom. And I believe that's that's the part of the California spirit, and what I love so much about the people of LA, and I love about Southern California.
There's a book by Isabel Wilkerson, and we'll put it in the show notes. It's called The Warmth of Other Suns. In The Warmth of Other Suns, Isabel Wilkerson does an amazing job of talking about black migration from the south to the north, and I believe the same principles apply to everything going west. And so, again, as we said before, it's not always where you start, it's where you finish. And so, we're going to come with the second half of our show today, right after the break. So, please stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Avery.
And I'm Jaylen.
And we are the executive producers of All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné. We're here with you today for a special announcement about our newest episode, All Roads Lead to Thanksgiving.
Join us live on November 26, 2020.
We'll be live on Facebook and YouTube at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, you can always join us there, and you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Facebook. That is All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné, the place where we talk about the people, the places, and the passions that have impacted us along the road of life. Thanks for hanging around. I'm Al.
I'm Jayné.
And this is All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné. All Roads Lead to LA. Now we're going to talk about some of the people, the places, and the passions that have really impacted us about LA. And one of the reasons why we love LA. I'm going to start by saying I just love LA. I love when we fly into LA.
Yes.
And especially at night. When we get a chance to see, I love looking out the window in the airplane and seeing the grid.
Mm-hmm,
it's just all the streets are lined in a
Yes.
perfect grid. I mean, there's no going off to the left, to the right. It seems like everything is just in a straight line. I love seeing that, especially at night when we fly into LA.
It's an impressive view. I love just the California air. I mean, there is smog and that sort of thing you feel, but I feel like particularly when we fly into Ontario, for me, there's a sweetness in the air.
Yeah.
Ontario is kind of like our secret airport kind of
Yeah.
thing where we like to kind of slip in because it's easy kind of in and out. But just even especially early mornings, California sunsets, nothing like it, but there's a sweetness in the air, and I just love the majesty of the mountains. And being on the beach and just having that view is just one of my favorite.
Nothing like it.
One of my favorite views in all of the country, all of the world, really. For me, it's just it's that combination of palm trees, the majesty of the mountains, and the beaches. But I love LA. I love the people. We talked about that some before, and I think about even some of my early influences. I loved the athletic divas of people like Florence Griffith Joyner.
Okay.
She was one of my absolute favorite, like Sheroes. And one of my, I think, track influences, watching UCLA Bruins track, loved her. Evelyn Ashford was one of my favorites. She reminded me a lot of my mom. She's just kind of like powerful runner, consistent, petite. Always can count on her. Just one of my favorites. And so I just love the combination for me and LA. It's like of the beauty of that California melanin, but also I think just there is still that grind and that grit, and I think that combination to me has just always been. And whether it was Jane Kennedy or Diane Carroll, there's just so many examples to me of just that the Black diva. I think we grew up, at least when I was on the East Coast, so many people were familiar with like the Malibu beauties in a sense, but there's a beauty to me of Black LA that I love. So I love the people. I love the food. To me, it's like a fusion. I think that's become more of a thing now where you're mixing different types and styles of food.
Okay.
I feel like I grew up kind of with a fusion. It was like soul food and Tex-Mex.
Wow.
I mean, my mom would make chili relleno. She'd make tostadas. She would do enchiladas. But we would have, cornbread. Sometimes she would do cornbread with little like chili peppers and tomatoes and corn, actual whole corn in the cornbread. And then she would make Southern style cornbread. So it was definitely like fusion food, I think, a lot growing up. But I love Tex-Mex. I love soul food. Just the whole nine. But I love the food in LA. And one of our favorite restaurants.
Doolin's.
Yes.
Doolin's.
Gotta make that stop.
Hey,
Gotta make that Doolin's stop.
Gotta go to Doolin's. Doolin's is the place.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. People talk about other places, and we're not there to talk down any other place.
Right. And the one in South LA, that location.
Doolin's on Crenshaw. Doolin's on Crenshaw.
Yes.
That is the place to go. We were in LA a couple of years ago. It was actually my birthday weekend. And somebody told us about Doolin. Said you gotta go there. You gotta go there. You have to go there.
We've done Roscoe's and other places in
we've
the
done
past,
a couple of other places. Aunt Kizzy's. We've done it. That was our spot for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody said, no, you got to try Doolin. So we went to Doolin's on my birthday, and actually happened to meet the owner of the restaurant. And we were talking. We didn't know who he was. He didn't know who we were. Ended up, there were so many things that we had in common. He lived for a while close to where we lived in New Jersey. There's certain people that we knew. We actually know people he's related
Relatives,
to. And all. So Doolin's, if you want a good meal, and
food.
I mean, we have literally gotten off the plane and gone straight to Doolin's. That's how.
Facts.
That is absolutely how good. Now, that is the absolute truth. Doolin's on Crenshaw.
That's right.
That is the place to go. That's one of the places we love in LA.
It's hurt me to see that area changing so much.
It is.
The stadium's coming in, and that area is really gentrifying. I guess that's another full topic for another day. But it does hurt to see the community really seeming to be shifting, and just a lot of just changes that are coming as that area is becoming developed and kind of a prize in a sense now for developers, and it seems to be really affecting just the culture and the community that's been there for so long.
It is, and we see it, especially the past couple times we've gone right to Doolin's. There's, I guess, a transit line, train, or some type of transit line that's coming in, and you can see the changes that are taking place. Our other place in LA, I just love this place. It's the Grove.
Hey.
The Grove. I mean, like every time we go to LA, we got to go to the Grove. The Grove is it's for people to give something to relate to. It's like an outdoor mall, but it's an outdoor mall LA style.
Yes,
it's a total thing. Like you said, it's an experience all in and of itself. The Grove is situated right between right behind CBS television studio. So where they do The Price is Right, Let's Make a Deal, The Young and the Restless.
Yeah,
literally
Y&R.
right. Y&R, yeah. Well, I guess we can talk about Y&R maybe one day. Right behind there, that is the Grove, and it is right on the other side of it is like a farmer's market.
Right.
The Grove is just a cool place to go. I just like hanging out there. I mean, they don't have. You won't find there, I should say, many stores that you won't find any other place, or certain other places, maybe for some people. But it is just a nice place to go and hang out. A lot of music. Sometimes there are live shows that are there. Yeah, you'll catch your occasional celebrity sighting there every once in a while, I guess. Can't think of anybody who we've seen in particular there. I'm sure there has been. But the Grove is just a great place to go. I really love the Grove.
The Grove is special. It is. And it is, I think, it typifies LA. It's just, there's lots of outdoor beauty. It's never the same. Every time we go, there's something different. Great places to eat. A lot of outdoor eating. It's a great place to hang out. It's a great place to shop. It's a great place to spend time. Love the Grove.
Yeah. I want to talk about just go back real quick. I know you talked about a couple of the people. One person in particular that kind of embodies LA to me is when I think about the person of Mayor Tom Bradley, who was the first black mayor of LA, who ran for governor once, and that's where we get the political science term called the Bradley effect. And that's where a lot of people, when he was running for governor against George Duke Machen, they would answer the poll question and say, yeah, we're going to vote for Tom Bradley. But when they actually got to the polls, they actually voted for George Duke Machen. But Mayor Bradley was just a strong and towering figure in LA politics, and really was a part of the second wave of black mayors that took place. Tom Bradley, Harold Washington, and people that era really kind of impacted influence. So when I think of LA people, I think of Mayor Bradley.
Absolutely. So we can't talk about LA without talking about some form of Hollywood shows, movies. What you got for
So
shows?
those are now I'm a TV guy, and so TV is one of my passions. And so let's talk about some of our favorite LA themed or LA based shows. All right, ladies first.
LA Law.
LA Law.
Yes, that was one of my favorites. Blair Underwood and the crew. That was one of mine. I just enjoyed that show. That's definitely up there for me.
Okay. You want to go down your list, or you want to go back and forth?
Okay, I'll give you a few others. I think you have a lot more than I do. I think I grew up watching Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes.
That was Luke Perry. Sad to see him departed, but that was one of my favorite shows. I enjoyed a little known show. It didn't get as much airtime as I think it deserved. The City of Angels was a great med show. Like Private Practice, kind of that spinoff of Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. Really enjoyed that. One of my favorite, my kind of guilty pleasures right now, which gives great homage to LA, is Insecure. Okay. Love it. Issa Rae. So those are some that come to mind.
All right. When it comes to LA TV shows for me, all right. I'm a 90210 guy as well. And one of the reasons why, because they were a high school class of 93 and a college 97 class, just like me. Okay. So all the guys on there. So I kind of followed that show as well. The Brady Bunch. Here's the story of a lovely lady. I mean, they were a LA based family. Love the Brady Bunch. Another show that I went all in, especially during the early era of it. Towards the end, it kind of got a little murky and everything. But Chips, Ponch and John. I love Chips. Seeing them come out there on the highway, and chase people down and all the situations they were getting in. Chips was a great show, great theme song by the way, as well. Another LA-based show, The White Shadow. Okay. Now you gotta be a real one to know about The White Shadow. All right. The White Shadow was about a white teacher that became an ex-basketball player. I guess he had played for the Bulls and became the basketball coach at an LA high school. Okay. I love The White Shadow. Another great theme song, by the way. Then we go to What's Happening. What's Happening with the two exclamation points at the end of What's Happening. All right, What's Happening? Raj, Rerun, Dwayne, D, Mama, Shirley. What's Happening is What's Happening. What's Happening is it. What's Happening is a great show. The great episodes of What's Happening, the Gibbons kids, when they went on the Gong Show, Rerun when he tried to be a page at ABC, the Talent Show, which ended up being the last aired episode of What's Happening. So many others. I could go on and the Doobie Brothers. How can I forget the Doobie Brothers episode? The two Doobie Brothers episodes. That was it. And again, What's Happening was actually a spinoff of the movie Cooley High. That was a good movie. Yeah. So that was kind of what What's Happening was supposed to be. All right. And I guess I'll wrap up the TV shows based in LA with one of the GOATs. All right. Are you ready? I'm ready. Should I do the song? Dum 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 dum.
Hey, that's my dad's favorite.
Dum 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 dum. Sanford and Son.
Red Fox, my dad loves
Sanford and Son. Come on. How does it get any better than that? Come on. That's Fred Sanford. Sanford. Period. Come on. Fred Sanford, Lamont, Grady, Bubba, Aunt Esther. Woody.
My
come on.
Was Grady.
Good googly goop. Yeah. Sanford and Son is just Sanford and Son is it. Sanford and Son is it. The comedy, that was on there. We can talk about that, and that's probably another whole nother show right there. But yeah, when I think about my favorite LA based or LA themed shows, Sanford and Son is right there with the rest of them.
I have to say, I just came to mind. I was thinking about the Jackson family. I feel like that really gave a really interesting take of talking about the Jackson family, coming from
Absolutely.
Gary
Yeah.
to Cali. I think that was a really gave a lot of insight on California at that time.
Yes.
Another one of mine. This isn't shows, but one of my favorite movies that I feel like is LA based is Love and Basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. That's true.
And I was thinking when we're talking about South Central, Boys in the Hood, that really was a period piece and
A classic. John
yeah.
Singleton.
Yeah.
John Singleton.
So, there's so many more. Those
Yeah.
just kind of tip the iceberg.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It does. So it's not where you start; it's where you finish. And we're gonna start off. I should say, end off today with our all-time starting five for the Lakers.
And at guard from Michigan State,
Okay.
hailing from Lansing, Michigan,
Yeah.
Irvin Magic Johnson.
Okay.
And shooting guard, gotta go with Kobe Bean Bryant all the way. Small forward for me is my favorite Tar Heel. Love Michael Jordan, but James Worthy. That's who I'm going with for small forward. Power forward, I'm gonna go with Powell. And center is the April baby, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Going with him for center.
Okay.
There's definitely some just old school centers that definitely could rival that. I think same thing for shooting guard. You could go with Jerry West. Love him. He's the logo. He is all Laker. But I think that's my squad.
Okay. Do you consider Shaq a Laker?
That's a good one. I could see those who do, but for me, he's still he's Orlando. Like
Okay.
I just still see him. I think his best playing days, he was in the best shape when he was playing with
Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway. Like that team to me, that's I mean, I know a lot of people claim him.
All right. For me, point guard, there's some people who would say Gail Goodrich, and I would not get in too long of an argument with them, but there's nobody like Magic. So I'll go with you there.
All right.
As far as number two guard, it's got to be Jerry West.
Okay.
He is the logo, like you said. He was the Lakers. I mean, through all of this time, coming from West Virginia to Los Angeles, his story, just amazing. But a great player as well. And as we found out with the unfortunate death of Kobe Bryant, a great person and a great father figure to Kobe Bryant as well. At forward number one, I'm going to go with Elgin Baylor. I mean, you cannot deny this man's stats that were there. And before he went into Clipperdom for a good little while, he was a part of the heart and soul of the Lakers, especially during those '60s years and that run they made there. Other forward, I'll go with James Worthy. Can't argue with him there. As far as center is concerned, I'm going to go with number 13, Wilton Norman Chamberlain. All right. All time. I know people are going to argue by the time he got to the Lakers, he was out of gas, but they don't get those championships that they did without him, which makes him an all-timer. And he had some pretty good contributions as a member of the team. So that is our starting five. All roads lead to LA. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking about this. Not only did the Lakers and the Dodgers come from other places to LA, the Clippers came from San Diego to LA.
True.
And the Rams, they came when they were playing there the first time. They came from Cleveland.
Okay.
To LA, and we know the
Raiders
have been up and down I-5,
yeah.
Going from Oakland to LA to back to Oakland and now to Vegas. One thing we didn't talk about really was the impact of the '84 Olympics in LA.
Yes.
That was pretty big.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I remember the LA Coliseum. I remember when we went there. When we went to LA,
And
we
Moses.
we went to the Coliseum. That was just like, wow. It was one of those bucket list moments for me, at least.
Absolutely.
I remember pulling out the TV guide and seeing the schedule of what would come on TV for the '84 Olympics.
Absolutely. That was all-American. We just swept so many different sports. I remember the Mary Lou Retton with the gymnastics. So much. Yeah, that was Carl Lewis with track. I
remember the opening ceremony. My parents explained to me about the man who actually helped to light the torch was Rayford Johnson, and explained about him and what he meant. And more I looked up his life and what he had done, just quite an amazing story. But the '84 LA Olympics, major influence, at least for me, it really impacted me on the road of life.
Absolutely. That was, summer was blocked off, and that was all in. Just shout out to Michael Cooper. That was one of my players with the honorary with the Lakers coupe.
And
I don't think we can say without L.A. Sparks, Lisa Leslie.
Yes.
We definitely need to do it. We'll probably hopefully talk a little bit more about sports and just the emergence.
Remember that time we saw her at the airport in L.A.?
LAX.
She was, I guess, getting off of a plane and was waiting for her luggage and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of did a little paparazzi thing.
We did. She's a great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks again for joining us for All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné. We will catch you next time.
We are so glad to share our podcast with you. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and on social media.
So please listen, share, and tell a friend about All Roads Lead To with Al and Jayné, the place where we talk about the people, the places, and the passions that have impacted us along the road of life.